You've been composing now for quite a while, and then the opportunity comes from Gregor to do this musical, performance, Wagner Reloaded. How did this come? How did you come into contact with him?
He contacted us 3 years ago. He used some of our music already on his previous works from album, and he just contacted us, and I went down to Germany to meet him about the project. He contacted our manager, and manager explained, okay, this is kind of the thing, what they're interested. I was like, okay, that sounds kind of cool, so let's meet him and discuss. And from the very first moment, I was really like, yeah, this is a cool project. If we can make this work, really how he is planning, it will be something very, very unique and special.
And this was when I read that you get a lot of offers like these to have a big symphony. And so, what made this one different from the others? Why did you pick this one to do?
I don't know. Many times we felt that the timing is not right. Also, sometimes there are interesting projects, but we just feel that no, we have no energy or no time because of other things we are doing. I don't know. His vision was something. I just got a strong feeling that this guy, he's crazy and he knows what to do, and I don't know exactly what was the thing. I think maybe it was partly because originally it was supposed to be on Bayreuth Opera Festival, which is a legendary Wagner festival, and maybe some that kind of aspects were also influencing that why we decided to do it. But I don't know. It's many times it's about intuition. You don't know when you discuss about some ideas that how they really will turn out. I had no idea if it's going to work, but I thought if it's going to work, it's going to be something really cool.
Were you listening to a lot of Wagner, or have you listened to a lot of Wagner before this project started?
I personally not very much. Of course, I knew all the overtures of his operas, but because I was never a big fan of opera music in the past. Nowadays, I like opera a lot, but when I was younger, I was not the biggest fan of opera. So, and Wagner composed only opera music. So Wagner, in those terms, I always appreciated him, but he was not the most important composer for me.
Was it difficult then, because you'd been writing for Apocalyptica, which I assume takes a certain type of writing, and then you have to write for a theatrical performance almost. Is it?
It's a little bit different approach because you have a certain different kind of target on the music. So I got, for example, for this project, I got a list of all scenes, and explain it. We went very detailed through with Gregor what's going to happen on every scene and what kind of music is needed. And of course, I was not thinking about Apocalyptica so much when I wrote the music. I just tried to write music to fill in. To fit in to the scene, what's going to happen on stage. It's like writing a movie.
Right.
You don't think who is performing it. It's more like, okay, you need to create certain mood for certain pictures. so that's why I also wrote music what I would not write if I'm thinking about Apocalyptica record.
So this is completely separate.
It's completely separate and not completely separate. It's both, because then in the final end, if we play it with Apocalyptica, it's Apocalyptica music. Okay. And so it's not divided, but if I play a lullaby, I need to compose a lullaby for the birth of the baby, then I need to write lullaby. And I give a shit who is going to, is it Apocalyptica or not? It's a lullaby for the scene.
Was it easy to get in? Well, because I think you did the music for a Finnish movie, Black Ice.
Black Ice, yeah.
So did this help the way to mentally prepare or?
Maybe, and I also made one big theater piece over 10 years ago in Finland. Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, for 3 live musician tapes, and that was also big work. I don't know. It's always a matter of understanding the drama, the dramaturgy. And in the final end, it's not so different. If we think about the set list for the concert or the track listing for the album, it's same kind of, you need to kind of get a vision of the flow, how it goes. And this kind of theatrical piece or dance performance, it's also the same thing. You need to get the flow. You need to have create the big picture first, and before you get into details. And that was actually the hardest part for the composing, was to get hold of this massive piece, including Wagner music, what to do with Wagner music, how I treat the Wagner, and what kind of style I write for the other stuff. So that's after I got the skeleton, then it started to get easier, but it took a long time, like 2-3 months, to get really like the kind of body shape for the whole thing. Because that's very important, the flow. The long-term story. It was a big story. It's Wagner's life. Fucking hell, it's it's an exciting life.
Well, were you worried that people who are big fans of Wagner might see it as something, not true to classical music?
I maybe have had the surgery when I was born, because I do not have this kind of way of thinking that I would be scared of other people's opinion, too much. Because it's, of course, I appreciate opinion, but I don't limit my doing because of I'm scared of somebody's reaction. Because it's obvious. Of course, there are hardcore Wagnerians who hate me because of doing such a shit. It's obvious, but it's their problem. It doesn't harm me.
That's a good attitude, yeah. Final question. I think you started writing for the next record. Is there, how far along are you?
Very beginning, very beginning. It's more like we don't have so much music yet. It's been more about getting started and kind of talking about what we want to do, what is our common interest in the band, what kind of sound, what kind of production, what's the direction, and let's see. At the moment, it's really strong feeling of a band record, and we're doing so much collaboration with different people. And now we had this Wagner Reloaded. We will have the tour with Symphony Orchestra in the spring, and so many other concepts. So it really feels like now it's time to look inside and see what we, just four of us, what happens, what crazy we can create, and how we can develop the thing, the sound, the arrangements, the whole thing. It's really, it's very hard to say where it will end up, but that's why the starting seems to take time, because there's so much bubbling under. Everybody's so excited to get back, after the year break. Right. Even we did the Wagner, but we just spent 3 weeks together for the Wagner project, and the rest of the time I wrote alone. So it was kind of off year from Apocalyptica, and now everybody is really like excited to get things started and new music done, and it's a great starting point.
Okay, thank you.
But it's very hard to say. It's impossible to say yet how the album is going to be and what is the concept. That's obvious that we will keep the vocal aspect, but how we will do it, that's still open. That we maybe try to find a singer, who can also be on tour, but also maybe make some songs on the record. Maybe we do some features, but it's only if they happen, easily. And we don't think, the focus is now on the band. And then when the band is, there, and when we are together and we know exactly what we want to do, then we invite other people, and not to get anybody else involved. There's been so many people involved on everything what we've done, all these collaborations and record companies and everything, and now we want to get everybody out of the room. Now it's time for ourselves.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.